Hello Stampers, hi everyone. It's Terry Hartley at Rustic Barn Cards. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Iowa. I'm glad you're here. Normally I would be going live today because this is Tuesday, November the 2nd, 2021, and I go live at 1 p.m. Central Time every Tuesday. But today I'm at a funeral, but I wanted to record this to share a card inspiration for you. I have just added a new online class December 3rd on Zoom, and I'm going to tell you about that when I turn the camera down. I'm going to be using the same stamp set today that I'll be using in my card class, Perfectly Plaid, although the card I'm going to make today will not be one of the cards in the class. But I want to show you the versatility and the beautiful cards that you can make using this stamp set. If you haven't subscribed before, please subscribe by clicking that subscribe button down below. I really appreciate that. I'm trying to grow my channel and to be able to bring you videos, and that helps me a lot. And if you're new to my channel, welcome, and welcome back to those of you that follow me. And those of you that follow me can probably tell that I have moved my craft room into a different room of my house, so I have a little bit more space, so the background looks a little bit different to you if you have been following me. All right, let's stop the chit chat and let's turn the camera down and let's start stamping. I wanted to tell you about my online class. Join me on Zoom for some crafty fun on December 3rd, 6 to 8 p.m. I'm going to be using the Perfectly Plaid stamp set and also the Pine Tree Punch. Now the stamp set and the punch is not included in the class price, but you can add that on if you do not already own the punch and the stamp set. The cost fee is $45, and for the $45, what you will receive is a package of the Gingerbread and Peppermint Designer Series paper, also a full roll of the Real Red double stitch satin ribbon, a package of the Wonderful Gems, and 2 mini paper pumpkin boxes, and cardstock to make 6 tags, 2 gift card holders, and we will be decorating the mini paper boxes. So for the $45 class fee, we'll make 10 projects. You'll receive over $30 a product and free shipping. Everyone in the United States can join me on Zoom for this crafty party. So no matter where you live in the United States, you can sign up, and there'll be a link in the description below where you can click and fill out the form and save your spot. And again, I'm going to make a card using Perfectly Plaid, but it is not part of the class, but it'll give you an idea of this versatile stamp set. So I'm going to bring in what we're going to need for our card. The card base is Magenta Madness, and for all of the dimensions, just sign up for my newsletter in the description down below, and I will send an email with the tutorial and the measurements for this card on Monday. You're going to need 2 layers that are the same, a basic white. You're going to need 2 scraps of basic white and another layer of Magenta Madness. You'll need Magenta Madness ink, and you're also going to be using, I'm going to use a die from the Stitch So Sweetly dies and the Evergreen Forest 3D embossing folder. So the first thing I'm going to do is go ahead and I'm going to add the layer inside our card base. So I'm just going to add some adhesive in our card, or on our cards layer, and we'll place this right inside. Make sure I have it straight as I can. Press that down, and then the other layer of basic white, I'm going to go ahead and add that to the front of our card. So again, I'm just going to add some liquid glue. And we'll place this right here. And then I'm going to lay this off to the side. And I'm going to go ahead and do a little stamping. So I'm going to bring in one of those scraps of basic white and our Magenta Madness ink. And then I'm going to bring in this tree from our Perfectly Plaid. And I'll go ahead and ink this up. And I'm going to, because I'm going to punch it out, and notice there isn't any little tree base there, but there is in the punch. So if I put it too far down, there won't be any room to punch the tree trunk of the tree. So I'm going to just raise it up just a little bit. And then I'm going to press straight down, straight up. And then I'm going to go ahead and, without inking it up again, stamping off, I'm going to do one more tree. I will need the ink later, but for right now, I'm going to just go ahead and close that up. I'm going to bring in our pine tree punch, and I'm going to go ahead and punch out our two trees that we're going to need. I'm going to bring that scrap back in, and I'm just going to lay these trees right there, and I'm going to bring in light Magenta Madness, because I do not want I could leave it white. I mean, there is a white, but I'm going to go ahead and color in the little tree trunk there. And then this one's also going to be, now you could use your color lifter if you wanted to, and lighten the tree trunk for the one that you stamped off. But I'm just going to leave it like that, and I'm going to bring in our 3D embossing folder, Evergreen Forest. And I'm going to bring in the layer of the Magenta Madness. And I'm going to place this in here so you can see a little bit. So I'll lay I want the trees, but mostly, but I'm also going to leave some space at the top just a little bit. Then I'll run this through the cut and emboss machine. And then this is what you have. So we're going to use that. I'm going to bring in our other scrap of basic white. And I'm going to bring in the Stitch So Sweetly dies. And I'm going to use this one right here. And I'm going to run this through the cut and emboss machine. And here we go. We have this. So now it's time to do a little bit more stamping and put our card together. So I'm going to lay the trees over here. I may change it the other way around, but I'm going to lay them right here. So I'm going to stamp my greeting right here. So I just place these so I know that I'm going to have room. And I'm going to add Merry Christmas. And I'm going to go ahead and do that in the Magenta Madness. So I'm going to go ahead and ink this up. And I'm going to place it as close to the edge of my die as I can. So I'll have room over here. And then I'm finished with the ink. And we'll lay that aside. And we're going to go ahead and add our emboss layer on top of our card. And again, I'm going to bring in the liquid adhesive. Sometimes you'll hear it referred to as green glue. And we will place that right here. All right. And then I'm going to bring in some ribbon. And this is our crinkled seam binding ribbon. And you can just lay this out, take your blender, and just color over the ribbon, and it changes it to any color. And I have already done that. So this is using the Magenta Madness. So let me show you how easy that is to do. I'm just going to take this, just using the scrap of white so I keep my surface clean. But this is all you do. You just go ahead, and if you want it a little darker, you can turn it over. But as you can see, it colors both sides at the same time. This way you can have any color of ribbon that you want using the blends. Now I am just going to lay this right here. So I'm going to grab my snips. And I may go ahead and snip it just a little bit more, but I'm going to go ahead and attach this. Before I attach it, I want to bring in my Merry Christmas layer because I want to decide how and where I want the ribbon to show underneath that layer. So by using this layer, as I said, then you can kind of decide where you want this to be. And I think I'm going to put the ribbon just a little bit lower than halfway. And then I am going to grab my silicone craft sheet. And I'm going to use that tree stamp right here to kind of know where I'm going to put this ribbon back. And then I'm going to just grab my liquid glue. And I'm doing a little bit of each edge. I didn't go ahead and put any liquid glue on it. And you might want to use, you could use glue dots. You also could use this fine tip glue pen. So now I am going to add dimensionals on our layer of Merry Christmas. Now I have added 9 dimensionals. One reason, we have this embossing folder, so I really want to make sure that this stays secure. Okay, and I'm going to place it a little bit lower than halfway so you can see the trees up above. And I'm trying to line it up so we have about the same amount of space on the left and the right. There we go. And then we're going to add our trees. And you can place these, you can overlap them a little bit. And you can place the lighter one behind, however you want to do that. Let's go ahead and pop those up with dimensionals. So I am just going to add a dimensional over here on the left side of the tree. I'm going to add 2. I think I'm going to add, I'm going to add 2. I was going to grab a mini one, but I think that'll be fine. So I don't want to clear at the top because this is going to hang over a little bit. And now we're going to put 2 right here at the bottom of our lighter one, our lighter tree. Before I take the backs off, I wanted to show you, because this is, and then we're going to add a little bit of glue over here, because this is already popped up over there. So we are going to take the backs off of the 2 dimensionals. And then I'm just going to add a little adhesive. And then I will overlap the second tree. And let's bring in some of our in-color dots. This is polished pink, but I think it will look fine with the Magenta Madness. And I'm going to use the putty end. And sometimes if it dries, you just kind of pull that off. And I just slide it and pick it up. And then I'm just going to place 1 right at the bottom. So here is our card today. Merry Christmas. And we can bring our snips in. And we can go ahead and even up our ribbon. And here is our card. Merry Christmas. And this is using the Perfectly Plaid stamp set that is in the annual catalog. And don't forget, save a spot. Sign up for my new online class for December 3rd, 6 to 8 p.m. I'm Terry Hartley, Rustic Barn Cards. Thank you for watching. Let me know if you like this card. Leave me a comment, thumbs up. Appreciate it. Subscribe. Have a great day. Thank you for watching.